Hey y'all, welcome back to another Timepieces for Tomorrow video. And within this video I want to talk about the Rolex Submariner versus the Tudor Black Bay 58. What is Tudor? What are the differences between the two? And if you're on the fence, is going with a Tudor a compromise instead of purchasing the Submariner? So a few things to start out with. You will notice the very similar design characteristics of both. Both of these brands are manufactured by what's called the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. And Tudor was created, not to misquote Mr. Wilsdorf, but essentially it was created to be the poor man's Rolex. Now in today's market, that's definitely not the case. Both Tudor and Rolex are extremely upmarket. Both are very well-made wristwatches, and we're going to discuss some of the differences and the advantages of each within this video. So a few things you'll notice, and the Tudor Black Bay 58, by the way, this is the navy. You can get a lot of different color options. That's one thing. Tudor has a lot of different options available, whereas Rolex is more, this is what we've done for many years, and they may have a minor design change, but that's about it. So you're going to have a lot more options if you're looking at Tudor. Now, as far as design differences are concerned, the bracelet, you can see it's got these what are called faux rivets, fake rivets. The case back itself looks very similar to the Submariner. The bracelet looks very similar to Submariner. The Black Bay 58, at least this reference, does not have micro adjustments in the bracelet. The Rolex has what's called glide lock. This is a 39 millimeter. The Submariner is a 40 millimeter, but both wear extremely comfortable. And this has an aluminum bezel. Very nice bezel action. Easy to grip with gloves, which these are dive watches. So if you're wearing them in the water, you want to be able to grip it with gloves. This is 200 meters, 660 feet water resistance. The Submariner is 300 meters, 1,000 feet. Now, either of these for going in the ocean or the swimming pool, that's more than sufficient. But you can see the case back, the similarities between the two, the bracelets, the similarities, although this bracelet does not have the fake rivets. This bracelet also has what's called glide lock, which is the micro adjustment. So you can adjust it if you get fat or skinny without having to use tools. The bezel on this is, you can hear it, very nice bezel action, but it's an aluminum bezel insert. This is ceramic, I'm sorry, whereas the Tudor is an aluminum, or you may say aluminium bezel insert. So just a matter of what you're looking for. The advantages, obviously, to aluminum is that over time it may develop what's called a patina, meaning that because of water, sunlight, etc., it'll probably discolor over time, giving it, in the eyes of a lot of collectors, a more desirable aesthetic. Whereas the ceramic bezel in the Rolex Submariner is probably always going to look the same. It's probably not going to fade. It's probably not going to crack. So it's a matter of personal preference. Both of these watches, as you can see, are very similar, but there's actually quite a bit of differences that the non-collector probably has not already realized, has not already noticed, rather. So one of the things is, you'll notice on the Submariner, around the crown, those are what are called crown guards. So they better protect the crown. See those little pieces right there that stick beside the crown? Those better protect the crown from knocks and bangs and that sort of thing, and it gives it a different look. The Black Bay 58 has no crown guards. You can see it's just got the crown, so that's a subtle difference. The hands, they're what are called the snowflake hands on the Tudor. The lume on both of these is great. Subscribe, check out my Timepieces for Tomorrow video playlist, and you can see the lume. This is going to have more of a greenish color, whereas the Submariner has a blue colored lume. The the hands, that's a big difference between the two. Rolex has what's called the Mercedes hands. It's got the, looks like Mercedes logo in that, in the hour hand. You can see there it's got like the little Mercedes shape. So both are similar but different, as expected, and neither are a bad decision. Now, something I do want to mention is that the resale value of the Rolex is probably always going to be stronger. So if you're trying to, you know, if it's something you may decide to sell or trade in the future, Submariner is probably always going to command a better resale value. And a lot of that is not just because it's Rolex versus Tudor, but the Rolex Submariner is arguably one of the most iconic wristwatches, if not the most iconic wristwatch in the world. So it's always going to be desirable. Whereas with Tudor, and it's changing because Tudor they've now got their own production facility in Switzerland, so they're no longer in Rolex's basement. But outside, at least at the time of filming this, outside of the wristwatching community, Tudor is a lot lesser known brand than Rolex. Even people that aren't wristwatch collectors, they know Rolex, whereas very few people know Tudor. Although that is changing, and a lot of that is because Tudor is developing now its own brand identity. It's trying to step outside of just being the poor man's Rolex, because it's no longer a poor man's Rolex. I mean, they're priced upmarket prices as well. And so now I will say Tudor is what Rolex used to be in the past. You know, you've got aluminum bezel inserts in most of the references. And you know, Rolex is going even more upmarket with the materials and the finishing. And that's one thing, the finishing on the Rolex is a notch above the Tudor. And part of that's by design, because if they offered the same level of finishing on the Rolex that they did the Tudor, well, why would people want to spend more to buy the Rolex other than the brand name recognition? So both are excellent pieces. Like I said, both are made by the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation, and as you can see here, both are aesthetically extremely similar. So you know, whether you're looking at the Submariner or the Black Bay 58, both are great choices. Now, one thing I will say about Tudor has an abundance of undesirable references. Some of the other Tudor Black Bays are too large. They're too case thick, meaning that they wear too tall on your wrist. But the Black Bay 58 is the Tudor. If you're looking at Rolex Submariner, which this particular reference is 40 millimeters, the Tudor Black Bay 58 is 39 millimeters. That would be the Tudor you would want to look at, because some of the Tudors are too big and they're too tall. This Tudor, the Black Bay 58, is the perfect Tudor in my opinion. And Tudor does have a lot of undesirable references, and that's worth mentioning. So just because this is a good Tudor doesn't mean that Tudor is good across the board, because in my opinion, they're definitely not. Yes, they're very well made wristwatches, but Tudor, you can go across the Rolex range and everything is going to be desirable. There's not a single quote-unquote dog within the Rolex range, but in Tudor there are a lot. But Tudor Black Bay 58 and Rolex Submariner, I feel, it's an excellent comparison. Obviously, the price point between these two is significant, but if you choose to go with a Tudor Black Bay 58, you're definitely not cutting corners. I mean, again, if you ever decide to sell or trade, it's probably not going to have the resale value. I'm going to say about 90% chance it's probably not going to have the resale value of the Submariner. But if you're looking for a good wear anywhere, go anywhere, do anything wristwatch, there's nothing wrong with the Tudor Black Bay 58. And if you have a Submariner, the Tudor Black Bay 58 is a great one to rotate with, because the wearability of both is exceptional, and they're both built to take the abuse. So I hope this video was informative. If it was, feel free to send me a super thanks. Not required, but you can choose to do so by clicking that thanks button down below this video, and subscribe and ring that bell, and check out all of my Timepieces for Tomorrow videos. Got questions? Comment below. and I'll try to post a video response. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Irix Guy here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.